BedWars versus Islands. It's a really weird question, and I get it all the time in my live streams. And today, we're going to try to finally answer it. While these games are nothing alike, I guess they have some similarities. One is it's made by the same, game development team, aka EZGG. Both games are inspired by Minecraft, and technically, BedWars was built off of Islands code, so it kind of makes sense that they would get compared. Plus, I make content on both games. In this video, like I said, we're going to try to pick the clear winner, and in order for us to be able to pick that clear winner, we need to set some categories and score the games based on those categories. The categories we're going to be using are tutorial, so obviously how, does it actually kind of ease players into the game, quests, aka missions, leveling, ranking up, weapons, economy, replayability, trading, gameplay progression, all that fun stuff. So before we get started, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. Now let's go and compare these games and tell you which one is better. Honestly, that's going to be really hard, but we're going to have to do it based on points. Let's go. So with the first category, we got to talk about tutorial. Now, BedWars doesn't really actually have a tutorial. Honestly, they kind of have one. Like, they tell you to kind of like go over here and play your match, but they don't really have a way to like truly ease you into gameplay, right? You're going to come over here, you're going to do your first match, and you're going to have no idea, honestly, how to play the game. They don't really teach you like, okay, first you need to cover your bed. Next, you got to, there's nothing like that in BedWars. Now, brand new players going to have no idea what to do in this game. Honestly, they're going to be like, vote for Relic, and they're going to have no idea what to do, right? They're going to be sitting here like, what on earth? And they're probably just going to randomly select something like Blood Deal and be very sad that they did. Now, the first thing they're going to do is they're going to be like, what is this? Why is iron sitting and dropping? And then they're going to come over here and look at their bed and be like, do I sleep? What is this table? What do I do with this? And then they're going to see people like flying at them. And again, they have no idea what to do. They're going to come over here. Maybe they'll come over to the generator. So at this stage, they kind of need to figure out like very quickly what they're supposed to do. The game doesn't really ease any players into that. So for that, BedWars gets a 0 for tutorial. Now, Islands, on the other hand, they have a very robust tutorial system. They've been working hard on this for like, 2 years. And you can see they pretty much guide you. It says cut down a tree. So you got to cut down a tree, and it guides you through everything you need to do. Pretty awesome job, honestly. Like, they really should just, created like a tutorial for new players in BedWars. Maybe it's a little overkill, but I know a lot of players in my community on the island side that never tried BedWars, honestly, because it confuses them. So it says collect some blocks with your pickaxe. So, it really shows you everything all the way through to even like mining and making your first like items. So honestly, we're going to give Islands a 1 for this category. Now, next up, we're going to talk about quests and missions. This is the stuff that you do when you're bored. Like when a game just doesn't, it gets kind of repetitive and you just want to do stuff that's like kind of like a checklist. Yeah, that's missions and quests or even achievements. And let's go and check out what BedWars has to offer here. So they have something called missions, and they also have like Battle Pass. Obviously, Battle Pass is just really about leveling up. Not really missions there. But over here inside the missions or even quests, this is like the gameplay progression. And this is how you pretty much level up in a sense, but kind of not really, okay? So it's kind of like disconnected but connected. It just works in BedWars because ultimately the only reason why you're grinding missions and stuff is to level up, and therefore you can unlock like better battle passes and stuff. Like you get these items by leveling up. That's the only reason why you're doing missions. It's not really like because you're having fun. It's because, well, you need XP. And that's really what this does is, you can see there's daily missions. Wow, I haven't done some of these. And except for like during like certain events, like if they do an event like the Halloween event or the pirate event, sometimes they do other stuff like this, which are basically just rehashed missions. They're just a different style. Like these are all pretty much not very unique other than like the pirate event had like specific pirate like missions that you had to do. But this, you can actually like go and buy stuff with this. Pretty cool. So missions in BedWars, pretty good. Okay, it's pretty good. Now let's go look over at missions and islands. Now in islands, there's a really robust quest system, kind of equivalent to the missions, but very, very different. This is like an actual quest system, like a true quest system that has progression. So check this out. So look at all the ones I've completed. So there's a lot of quests that you can complete, and all of them are pretty unique. Like you got to talk to someone, you got to do, mine blocks here, you got to go do these things, craft this, and there's actual like missions and such that really give you a lot of variety in gameplay. So these are the ones in progress. These are the ones available. Like there's so many more that I, haven't done yet. Like out goes the candle to fit all the spider candles in the graveyard. Ooh, I got to do that one before it goes away. This whole quest system gives you so many things you could do. Like, and because there's such variety of gameplay in islands, it's so fun because, you can go fish, you can go talk to like this guy and fish some other stuff. You can go and kill blobs. You can like, catch bees. You can break, types of blocks. You can catch animals. Like there's a lot more variety of gameplay. And for that, and because there's such a variety of gameplay in a true progression system, we're going to give Islands the point on this one. So this makes pretty much BedWars 0, Islands 2. Next up, let's talk about leveling up or ranking up. Now, Islands has its own system that's kind of wonky, honestly. Like there's no true leveling in the game. In fact, like everything's kind of based on your coins. So like if I go inside the lobby, it's just going to show like me at the top based on the number of coins I have, which honestly isn't a very good way to like sort people. Like you can see right here, it's my name and then coins. That's pretty much your rank in the game. Now there's a secondary rank system, which is based on skills. So you can see like this looks like a cell reception like symbol here. Like how good is my signal? But no, it's really your skills. So you can click on that. These are all like the different levels for each skill. This is the closest thing we really have for like a level system in Islands. It's not very good. It could be much better. But it's a lot more like a Minecraft style skill system, not an overall level system. Okay. Now again, we are ranked based on our coins. So is there truly a level system in Islands? I mean, kind of, but not really. Okay. I would say the one thing that's really nice about this, and you know, it's not just like oh, I'm level 99 in farming. It actually has like purpose, like you're unlocking stuff. So you're truly unlocking things based on your levels, but they're based on skills. So I guess you have like multiple level systems. Okay. BedWars, on the other hand, the only rank system that they have beyond wins is going to be actual ranks. So they do actually have like a rank system, and this is how you get your ranks. So if you come over here, and actually there's like a rank leaderboard over here. You can see I haven't even like tried to get ranked yet inside the latest rank season. I just haven't bothered, but you can actually get ranks, and the ultimate rank that you're really going for is Nightmare, which is like the one that everyone wants, right? Everyone wants like Nightmare ranks. Wow, why is everyone like only like 75? That's like a really low RP. Wow, must be really hard to get RP right now. But yeah, that's not really a good rank system in my opinion, but it works for, I guess, for now. What we really need is a true level system. So if you can see, like the battle pass is like the closest thing to a level system, and this gets reset all the time. So it's not really a level, right? But it kind of is. This is closer to like a League of Legends or like a Call of Duty style level system. The difference being in like those like battle passes, for the most part, typically to my knowledge, like you rank up in your prestige and stuff, your rank is still maintained. Whereas each season it pretty much resets. So it's not really a true like level system in BedWars. And because of the fact that it gets reset on every season, we're going to give this point to Islands, making this a 0-3 versus Islands. I promise BedWars will win some. So the next thing we're going to cover are weapons. Now, Islands does have a lot of weapons, okay? But BedWars has like so many more weapons. Now, we're not just talking about like the ones like in here, right? So obviously, you got like your combat swords. You got like your wooden sword, your stone sword, your iron sword. Islands already had that. You also have your diamond sword, and you got your emerald sword. Islands technically doesn't have that, okay? But there are so many more weapons in BedWars. In fact, not only just weapons, but different types of weapons with different abilities or capabilities. You know, like obviously you got your like regular swords. So for example, we have the diamond Dow. You know, this thing is crazy. Like, look it. You can do like this cool leap with it. And then we got the boba blaster. Dude, we don't have this in Islands. You got like a bear claw. You got like a battle axe. Okay, we kind of have stuff like this. There's like a cannon, like a carrot cannon. Like, dude, there are so many weapons in this game. Just look at this. Look at this like whole list here. You got a lasso. You got a toy hammer, sticky fireworks. You got like tennis rackets, like void swords. Islands does not compare to this game's weapons. So I will do a quick, you know, comparison example in Islands, but this is pretty much a clear winner already. So here's an example of weapons in Islands, and these aren't all weapons. Some of these are just ammo. Some of these are, I don't know why bait is in here and like watering cans and such, but whatever. These are kind of just tools, okay? But you can see there's not that many weapons in the game currently, and functionality wise, not a lot of variety. There's like, you know, a couple spells, like there's not that much. So with that in mind, we're going to give the point to BedWars for weapons. That sets us at BedWars 1, Islands 3. Next up, we're going to talk about the economy. Now, economy means like currency, right? Things you can spend. So like I've got 1.3 billion coins currently on this account. I got way more in storage, but let's not talk about that. We're talking about currency. And that's pretty much like things that you can spend, right? So how do I earn stuff? How do I buy stuff in the game? How do I unlock stuff? And currently in Islands, pretty much most of it is going to be like, I would say even a majority of it is going to be based on coins. And pretty much it's easy to earn more coins. You know, you got like farms, you can sell stuff, you can trade stuff for coins. So like if I earn something inside the island, you know, like maybe the wild islands, maybe I go inside the underworld, kill something, get something that someone really wants, I could get coins for that, right? Pretty clear indication of an economy. BedWars, on the other hand, just doesn't have anything. Like BedWars, like there's no currency other than during these events. Like you've got like these like candies you can spend and such, which is kind of cool. Honestly, they can get like, you know, spend things like that you earn through missions. But this is the only economy the game currently has. Like you can't go and grind the game and be able to buy stuff based on your grind. It's pretty much match based. So like anything that you earn in the match, like emeralds and iron and such, is really just spent in that same match. So it's not really an economy per se. It's just like it's match like power, resources. Like everything here is pretty much like stuff you get from battle passes, and that's not really an economy. That's not like you're not really spending anything on that. See, like these are just kind of, you know, automatic. So with that in mind, we're gonna give the point to Islands for the economy. Maybe if BedWars added something that you can grind for, kind of like the system over here for the Halloween event. Man, that'd be really cool if you can like unlock stuff like ongoing. Like this is a really good actual like indication of a shop that you can spend your hard-earned grinding currency, you know, into something. And I think this could actually change the game quite a bit, especially if they added trading, which we're going to get into in a little bit. With that in mind, that makes it 1 point BedWars, 4 points Islands. Man, BedWars has got to, you know, kick it up a notch. So the next category we're going to cover is replayability. Like how often can you play a game before you get bored of it? And that's a tough one because both games kind of have like high replayability, okay? They're not like, it's not like a situation where only one is good at that. You know, like I play BedWars a ton, I play Islands a ton. Both games have just never really dried up for me. However, with Islands, I have to say, like replayability has to be the highest compared to both. Like, look at this. Imagine coming back to Islands and building an insanely cool like fantasy castle like mine. Like this is really, really cool. I love my castle. It was just so fun to build. The replayability is huge for Islands for this. And it's not just about like building cool like islands like this. It's not all about just builds, right? You also have auto farms. Like if you see my like massive pineapple farm, I mean, that was such a fun thing to come back to Islands and rebuild. I have so many other builds I haven't even touched in Islands yet that are on like kind of like on my like want to do list. I just haven't touched it yet. Like you can make zoos in Islands. You can like complete collections. You can quest. Like replayability is huge, huge, huge. Also, the trading economy really, really helps. The fact that you have like dedicated islands and shops that you can get, you know, like kind of like buy and sell with. Like this part is huge in the game. Like the game's like content is like almost endless. So it's really hard to like really compare the two. But because of this, I got to give the dub to Islands. Islands replayability is so high, even with like the different bosses you can grind, all the new, you know, items you can craft, like the different builds you can make and experiment with, all the different auto farms, the cooking, everything. There's so much in this game. Replayability is way higher than BedWars. With that in mind, we got 1 BedWars, 5 Islands. Man, BedWars has got to catch up. Next up is trading. Now with BedWars, there's actually like 0 trading involved. There's 0 trading. I mean, this is pretty much an automatic win for Islands because there's a huge, huge trading community. A lot of people like are kind of against trading in BedWars for various reasons. One is they don't want to see people begging in the game. I have to say there, you know, a lot of people were against pets inside Islands too, but look at everyone wants the pets. Sometimes you just don't want like Bubblegum Sim or Pet Sim X kind of like, you know, economy, or like you don't want people begging all the time, but they already beg for kits. This is not going to really change the game, okay? Like from a game's experience standpoint, you're still going to have beggars in the lobby asking for free kits. Now, you know, now they go a step further and say like, please trade me. Now, the only bad thing that could happen is like little kids getting scammed for their kits. Like, you know, people are trading kits or maybe they're trading cosmetics. I actually think they should only trade cosmetics. That's just my opinion. But a trading economy in BedWars would give the game a whole new life. I think a lot of players, especially content creators who have been kind of bored of the game, I think it's purely because there's no trading in there. Now you saw like the trading economy in Pet Sim X, how, you know, like content creators can go and like trade for everything. Like imagine if you're a content creator that just started in BedWars today and you can't use any of the old kits and you just started creating content like today. I mean, that's another reason why I think kits should be tradable, but more than anything, just the cosmetics at a minimum, right? So again, super cool if we can add like trading in BedWars, but the fact that we don't have trading in there right now, gotta give this, you know, a 0 to BedWars and another point to Islands, making it 1 BedWars, 6 Islands. Next up, we're gonna talk about visuals. Now, both games have similar visuals, but they're still kind of, you know, far apart in some ways, right? This one's really tough, okay? Because like I said, they're kind of similar. I mean, essentially what you have are like the same artists. Both of them have like the same skies. Like they kind of have like similar textures. A lot of the blocks in both games share the same blocks, like textures. They're like identical, right? When you get into like the lobby, for example, if we go over to this lobby here, I mean, like this is the Islands lobby for Halloween. Like, can you really compare this to like BedWars? BedWars has a tiny lobby. Like the amount of work that they put into this compared to the BedWars one, really tough, man. Really, really tough. Now, however, the difference is, you know, obviously BedWars team had to do like the crypt and such, and they did like this whole like really cool build for that. Like it was really, really cool. But again, like this is such a cool lobby. They've done such a great job on this game. Like they've been working on this for a long time, and this has really been a model for, I think, BedWars. Plus, like I said, they share the same artists. So the BedWars and Islands artists are pretty much shared across both games. Like, look at this. Look at these candles. That is so cool. And you got this boss over here. But yeah, I think this one's a really tough one, to be honest. I think if I were gonna truly score this one, I gotta put it as a draw. This is pretty much a draw. Both are kind of tied on visuals. They're just too similar to each other, and both look really good. The lighting, you know, both games lighting looks really good. We're gonna give this one a tie. Now, this next category is gonna be pretty brutal. Okay, this one's like, oh, this one's so sad and difficult. Next one is popularity. So obviously, the more popular a game is, like, the better off the community is, the better off the game is, because the more popular a game is, you got more players. You know, it's exciting, it's fresh. The developers are excited because, you know, a lot of players are playing it. We're excited because we got new faces. You know, new beginners who are trying to grind. You also get content creators that come with that, so you get a lot of cool videos. And this one's tough because Islands has just really suffered that for so long. Islands early days, like we had like every content creator making content on this game, and then the big Skyblock thing kind of blew up where they shut the game down for like almost a week, and they brought it back, and most of the content creators never returned. Okay, and there's also some like duping issues, and then some of the updates kind of slowed down, so the game kind of lost popularity quite a bit. It's still pretty good, like, you know, it still gets about 10,000 players, between 5 to 10,000 players every, like, I mean, that's like not even every day, that's just constant. So, you know, there's still like hundreds of thousands of players every day playing this game. However, it's not as popular as BedWars. BedWars has all these content creators still. They still reach like over 100,000 players. So with that in mind, we got to give the dub on this one to BedWars, making it 2 points BedWars, 6 points Islands. All right, the next category we're going to cover is UGC or build tools. Both games, obviously they have like blocks, and you're going to want to build, right? And so both games kind of have like a pretty big stretch on this. Like Islands has like, obviously you can build stuff, but they don't really have like true build tools. The only true build tool in Islands, honestly, is this right here, the day and night cycle. This is like the true build tool. Everything else you kind of have to earn, right? Like you earn your own stuff, you build your own things. The only things that I would say that are really helpful as a builder is being able to have a join code. So obviously I got a join code here. Don't worry, I'm going to refresh this after the video. You won't be able to join it, but because I get all these stalkers like stalking me, joining me randomly. You can see we can publish our island. That's pretty cool. It is kind of pay to win though, because you have to pay for it. You have to pay like, I don't know how many, it's like 20 bucks or so. You know, it's a lot of Robux to be able to buy that. But the other thing though, like I said, is you can like give people your join code, and it's pretty cool. The other thing you can do, which is pretty cool also, is you got a profile system where you can manage, create, or load save profiles for islands. This is cool. Like you could do co-ops with your friends. So like, you know, you can see I've got a bunch of co-ops. I can share like a mall with other friends, and they can help build together. Now, BedWars does not have that kind of functionality currently. Like you can't just like go and like share a map code and then let your friend build on it while you're gone. You still have to be on your account. If it's your save slot, if it's your map save slot, you have to like be on your account. Now you can kind of do like a weird swap where like you kind of piggyback off each other with map codes, which I'm gonna have to try to do a video on at some point inside BedWars. But this currently, the Islands has like a better support system for like join codes and such. But let's go over to BedWars, because I actually think BedWars has better build tools, and I'll explain why. So one thing that BedWars has that I really wish Islands has, but it's kind of complicated, okay, which is pretty much creative mode. So the cool thing about BedWars, you could go like /GM and type in 1, and you've got pretty much every block in here, and it's unlimited. So like all I gotta do is like grab this block, and I can pretty much build all day long. You can also save your maps. You can like share your maps so someone else can load this on their own. Unlike Islands, you have to be on the island, okay? You got to be on the island for people to join you. Whereas wouldn't it be cool if like people could load your island while you're gone and maybe like buy stuff from you or check out your build? Maybe you could even give them like build permissions so they can like, you know, load the island while you're gone, although that could be pretty scammy. I guess in those scenarios it'd be better just to have like a co-op kind of scenario. But still, like in this game, the fact that you can like do build mode or creative mode is huge. The other thing you can do, you can like mass delete stuff. So if you want to like cut stuff out, you can do that. You got air barriers. You got so much here. You can add and remove beds with commands, and then you can save your code and let people play on your map. Huge, huge, huge. I would say this alone is like one of the biggest features of BedWars. But the thing that it lacks currently is the ability for people to discover these maps, and that's where my site like bedwarsmaps.com comes into play to try to help that. It's, you know, it's a lot of work to maintain that, so it's not like the best solution, but still like pretty cool, you know, that this game has so many tools. It does lack a lot of things like lights, so that's where it kind of comes down. You know, like they haven't really been updating or giving us new stuff either. Like it's pretty much just like, here's your tools, and we're gonna kind of stop like supporting it. So there's some lacking of build support, but at least they have build tools here. So in this category, I'm gonna give the dub to BedWars, making it 3 points BedWars, 6 points Islands. Now the next category we're gonna talk about is game performance. So you can see like things are really fast here. One thing I will say about BedWars is performance is way better than Islands, and I think it's, you know, partly because, you know, kind of isolated. You don't have like a bunch of factory stuff going on. You're not, you know, loading in a bunch of profile data. You're not like loading in everyone's inventories at once. There's not a lot of animations going on. Maps are very simple. There's not very many textures going on. You're not loading in all those 3D models and meshes into the world. And look how fast like the building is. Like it's so fast to place. Like the fact that you could like build like this is huge. But it's so fast to build, like way faster in BedWars. But frame rates are way higher. So let's go and check. Let's see. Yeah. So my FPS right now with the unlocker is 243. It looks like. Now I don't know that it's gonna be any like less in Islands truly, because obviously, you know, I don't really have that bad of, you know, like frame loss or frame rate lag because of my my video card, but like, look how fast I can build this. Now, if you try to do that in Islands, you'd have block skipping. It'd be lag because it just uses a different building kind of setup. Plus, there's, like I said, there's not that much going on in this game. Now, coming over to Islands, I'm actually really surprised. Look at my frame rate, dude. I'm getting only 50 frames per second right now. That's insane. So until I go into like a dark area, then obviously if I look at a dark area, it's going to be pretty good. But you saw I was getting over like 244. Also, you'll notice my memory is like insane. Like it's using so much more memory. BedWars was using only like 800. This one's using like over a gig. It's like 1.7 gigs. I definitely have a higher ping. That doesn't help a lot. But yeah, like way difference in performance here. And obviously if I'm trying to build stuff, like let's try to build straight up. Like you also don't get like, I don't like that you don't get the outline inside Islands. Like I really miss the BedWars outline and the feeling of like, I could kind of build outwards. So like, you know, like in BedWars, I can kind of like build like this and go out and be clicking right here and it would already be snapping. Whereas this one, you kind of have to like, you have to be like right on the edge for it to actually work. But, and then if you wanted to build up, like, look how slow this is. It just feels so much more laggy. Like, look at it even skipped blocks. This is what I was talking about. Look at it. It actually skipped blocks. There's no reason it should have happened, but it did. That's how laggy it is. So yeah, Islands is not going to win this one. We're going to give the point to BedWars for performance, making it 4 points BedWars, 6 points Islands. Next, let's talk about updates. Now, updates category, pretty tough. Obviously, it's all about the content, right? So like on a weekly basis, the development team tries to give us like really cool content we can experience on a weekly basis. Really important for us as content creators as well. Not only the community, but the content creator side, because we need to be able to create new content. And without new content, we kind of have dead channels. I mean, honestly, you need content to be able to continue to, you know, maintain really cool videos and come up with new ideas. Yeah, there's a lot of like, you know, runway for us, but updates just give us the ability to make new stuff very quickly. Now, BedWars has to have like a huge advantage here over the Islands team because, you know, the BedWars team has been doing weekly updates pretty much since launch. Whereas the Islands team, they took a little bit of, you know, time to be able to like catch up to giving us good updates. And they're finally doing it, like I said, but because, you know, like BedWars is so much easier to like work on and maintain, and they've been coming up with like really cool like kits and such, and giving us a lot of content to like make videos on. We got to give this one to the BedWars team. Again, Islands is just doing such an awesome job, but BedWars has to take the dub. So we do have a clear winner here. I hate to say it is Islands just by 1 point. Okay. So as you can see, it's really hard to like truly find a winner between these games, but I think BedWars, you know, it's really close. It was just off by 1 point. And obviously these two games are completely different. So like a true comparison is not really going to be fair to both games, but that's why I, you know, really love both games. Honestly, each game has something really unique to offer, and that's why you can't really compare them. Like Islands has so much replayability. That's why I won't quit it. It just has so much things, you know, so many different things we can do on a regular basis. BedWars has frequent, you know, updates, great updates, very good performance, lots of great building tools, very popular. Again, both games just have so much to offer. Now, I hope the devs do look at, you know, new features in the future, like maybe a better economy system and a better trading system, or at least some kind of trading system. I think this game would kind of like get like a second like breath of fresh air. Now, you know, they got to be really careful with that because you add too many mechanics, you add too many, you know, things, it gets complicated, but the game's already kind of complicated. I think the ship has sailed. But anyway, let me know what you think in the comments below. Obviously, only care about like the, you know, Islands versus BedWars comments. And there will be bias. I guess some of you will never play Islands because you think it's too complicated. If you're an Islands player, let me know what you think in the comments below. If you're a BedWars player, definitely check out Islands, man. It's such a fun game. If you're bored of BedWars, why aren't you playing Islands? Most of my community and clan are playing Islands now. They're loving it. It's so fresh for them because they never really grinded the game. Definitely a really exciting game to grind. If you're just bored of BedWars, why not play Islands? Man, it's the same like game. Then just come back over to BedWars when you're kind of bored of Islands. That's what I've been doing for like, geez, I've been doing this for like a year and a half, and it works great. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you all in the next vid. Peace.